This right here is crazy.
AyeQ!
This is what, yo, imagine him shooting a hospital just to deal with, and the baby's coming out. Fellas, again, focus on yourself. That's what it is.
As a man, if you become more successful, you become more valuable. The more valuable you become, the quality of the woman you can attract gets a lot better. If you settle early, you're making a big bet. And I've seen a lot of guys fuck this up because they settle early and then they keep growing and their woman doesn't grow with them. Also inverse, if you're a woman, there's a couple women in the room. It's the same thing. If the guy doesn't grow, there will be a tension here eventually. And my experience has been if you work hard and take care of your business, it takes care of you.
This is the sad story of Felicia Johnson, aged 24, a Californian woman who went missing after taking a trip to Houston for her 24th birthday. Felicia had been in contact with a man named Chukwuebuka Nwobodo, aged 28, a man she met on an online escort website. She vanished from the face of the earth after meeting him at his apartment. Her remains were found almost a year later in the Sam Houston National Forest by a TxDOT worker. Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories.
Tonight, a father believes the remains of his daughter, who went missing nearly a year ago, may have been found.
And today, investigators tell us they were back out at a site in Montgomery County where remains were found earlier this week.
This story will be taking us to Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas, is a very populous city and is a very major city. Houston is named after General Sam Houston, a very important figure in the city's history. He became the first president of the Republic of Texas after he won the war against Mexico in the Battle of San Juancito, gaining Texas independence from them. Felicia Marie Johnson, aged 24, was from San Diego, California. It is not particularly known where she finished her high school, but she was described as someone who loved life, loved her family, and wanted more in life. Her family members said, "Felicia is a beautiful young lady, she's very smart, very intelligent, she's the life of the party." She celebrated her birthday with her family members few days before she went missing 5 days later. On April 10th, Felicia spent time with her family celebrating her 24th birthday, and she left for Houston from California on April 13th. Upon arriving in Houston, 2 days later she went to an adult nightclub to apply for a job but was turned away. Prior to this, she had been in contact with a man named Chukwuebuka Nwobodo who she met on an online escort service. Nwobodo responded to an ad Felicia had that night. After her application at the adult club, Felicia took an Uber around 2:56 a.m. that was ordered by Nwobodo. The Uber took Felicia to Nwobodo's old address on 3200 block of Windchase Boulevard. Then, he picked her up and took her to his apartment on South Richmond Avenue. The next day, Felicia's family members did not hear from her, so they became worried and reported her missing to the police department. They also hired a private investigator who was able to start investigating right away and discovered Felicia's cell phone by pinging it at Bear Creek's Pioneers Park several miles from the club with blood on it. Her dad flew from California to Houston to help with the massive search that was on the way.
We're out looking for Felicia Johnson. Today they searched an area of interest at Bear Creek Pioneers Park, which is right around the location where Johnson's family says her phone was found.
Well, it's been 5 days since Johnson was last seen leaving a nightclub on West Little York in Northwest Houston. ABC 13 reporter Roxy Bustamante joins us live with what we've learned about her disappearance. Roxy.
So the Cover Girls nightclub right here behind me was the last place where Felicia Johnson was last seen. Now, Houston police tell us that detectives returned back here to this area, and her father is hoping that the surveillance video from inside the building will reveal who left with his daughter. Where is Felicia Johnson?
I can't put it into words. I'm trying to hold myself together and not just break down. And
Look, this story is pretty sad. Ladies, all money and good money. See, once you choose that route in life, and by the way, like RIP to this young lady, my condolences to her family. But once you choose this life, the life of a 304, this could be the outcome, because your main goal is to finesse creeps. And a lot of those dudes who are simps, betas, the type of men who usually pay y'all, those dudes are mentally ill dudes. Like, a lot of those dudes are crazy. So what I'm trying to say, once you choose this line of work, you're choosing a very dangerous lifestyle, because those dudes are creeps. You never know what a creep is going to do. You never know his next move. That's why the best thing to do, ladies, is to keep away from this lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Be a more virtuous woman, get you a good job, and stay away from the underworld, because this is what comes with it. Sad situation, man. Sad.
So story time. So literally, I was hanging out with my guy friend. Oh, that's backpedal. My guy friend was out of town, and he was on the phone with me. He was like, "You want to go to Vegas?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I would love to go to Vegas." And when he got back home, he was still speaking as if he was still going to Vegas, but it just didn't sound like I was included anymore. So I'm like, I still want to go to Vegas. And he's like, "Well, I'm going to be right back. You know, Vegas is right up the road, and I'm going to come right back after the fight." So I'm like, "Okay, don't worry about it." And then that same breath, I'm like, "Okay, don't worry about it." My old guy friend texts me and say, "Where you at? Let's go to Vegas." And I'm like, I'm literally in the bed with my current guy friend. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at my phone. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So I was like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm still going to go to Vegas." And he's like, "What you mean?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. I'm still going to go to Vegas." And he kept asking and asking. I'm like, "You should just stop asking me who I'm going to go with, because you don't even want to know." And it got to a point he was like, "You're not going. It's no, like, it's wrong with you, this and that and the third." And I was like, "Okay, I'm not going to go." Y'all, of course I went. What are you talking about? So I ate, and then my old guy friend texted me. He's like, "Where you at? Let's go." And I had already told him, I'm like, I literally can't even go to Vegas because my current guy friend is about to be out there. He's like, "No, we're going to come right back. Don't worry about it. I just got to do something. We're going to come right back tonight." So I'm like, "Okay, I'll let you know." So he texted me. He's like, "Where you at? Let's go." And I'm not that disrespectful, so I ain't had him pull up to the crib or anything like that. So I walk 2-3 blocks down Hollywood Boulevard, and I had him come pick me up on Hollywood Boulevard. And then, like, the whole ride there, he let me drive his Maybach. Do you hear me? He let the Maybach drive us, but I was in the driver's seat. The whole time he's confessing his love to me and this and that and third, and I was like, wow, this really was not a good idea, because why are we doing this? So we finally get to Vegas, like 10 o'clock at night, and he does what he needs to do. We get that over with, and he looks at me, he says, "I need to stay out here for the night." And I'm looking at him like, okay, what does that have to do with me? I told you I'm not even supposed to be here. Take me home. And he was like, "I don't want you to have to drive by yourself," because he was going to give me his car. And then I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not driving by myself. You're going to have to take me home." And he was like, "Well, I really do need to stay, so you either going to stay with me or are we going to get you a flight?" I was on the next thing smoking. Do you hear me? It was 10:30 there. I landed in LA at 11:15, went in the Uber, and went back to my real man. Because I'm like, nah, I'm not getting caught up.
Man, look, first and foremost, how to spot a bird. If a chick refers to her man as her guy friend, that's a bird. So this chick expect us to believe that she went to Vegas with some other nigga and he was confessing his love to her. He even let her drive his Maybach, and he ain't smash? Okay. And then he didn't smash, but he got her a flight to get back to LA. C-A-P. Now, if her real man sees this, he should get rid of this chick, man. This is a straight bird right here, man. This is mad disrespectful too. You know what I'm saying? This is just hella disrespectful. And what's so crazy? She don't think that she cheated. In her mind, she didn't do anything wrong. But yet when the dude was picking her up, he had to pick her up a block away. See what I'm saying? It is what it is, man. Shorty's a bird, fellas. Treat a bird like a bird. Get in and get out. Smash and dash. Don't keep a bird around, because once you keep a bird around, she start doing bird shit. She start bringing random dudes to your crib and things like that. It is what it is, man. Fellas, be careful out here. Trust. That's why you don't keep these birds around too long, man. Don't keep them in a cage, man. Let them fly. Facts.
Next at 5, a high school student accused of trying to give a man HIV. The woman was in court today to face these shocking accusations. It's the story so many of you are clicking on at WCPO.com and sharing it as well. 9 on your side's Roseanne Aragon is live with reaction from her school tonight. Roseanne?
Craig, Tanya, she was a teenage high school student here at Don Community High School, a senior on track for graduation, but now she could be a felon. In court today, 18-year-old Dawn Booker now facing a judge.
Has no felony record of any kind, no failures to appear in her history. She does live here in Cincinnati, as she has her whole life.
A young life now in a twist. She knew she was HIV positive and allegedly had sex with a man, not telling him she had the virus until after. The report reads, Booker did knowingly attempt to cause physical harm. In Ohio law, that's a crime. Anyone HIV positive must disclose that information before having sex. But that doesn't always happen. In 2012, Andre Davis, a pro wrestler, went to prison for having sex with several women without disclosing his status, passing on a virus already affecting the community. Here in Cincinnati, the Caracal organization and HIV support group helps more than 1,000 people with HIV. Now, they say in Hamilton County alone, there could be anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000 people affected with the virus. A terminal virus without a cure.
This disease is something that is lifelong and chronic and could cause severe complications.
And studies show 1 in 4 new infections are found in teenagers and young adults. Booker's principal says while it didn't happen here, he was shocked.
The school had no awareness of this. We didn't even know that this, was going on. There was not a conversation with any counselor or teacher or me.
Leaving an 18-year-old girl in handcuffs and a man wondering if his whole life could change. The judge now setting a $5,000 bond.
All of this is conditional upon no engagement in sexual behavior.
Now school officials tell me she was a good problem-free student, but for now Booker will remain behind bars. Reporting live, Roseanne Aragon, 9 on your side.
Wow, this is crazy. You never know out here, man. This is why it's best to practice safe sex at all times. In some situations, the best solution is abstinence. See what I'm saying? Just don't even have sex. People like her really need help. You see what I'm saying? Because when you got the virus and you're trying to spread it off of spite because you're angry, you need to go seek help because you have a deep problem. See what I'm saying? Now, this dude is probably worried about whether or not he got it or not. And it's not fair to him. It's just a sad situation. But fellas, understand something. A situation like this could happen to anybody. If you're dealing with a chick and she tried to get you to hit a raw, man, listen, say no, put on that rubber. Because sometimes, I ain't gonna lie to you, like you might be smashing a chick and she might ask you to take off the condom because she want to feel it raw. Man, say no. Mind control, fellas. Protect yourself at all times. You never know out here, man. And people, if you have the virus, please inform the other person. It's only right. Don't be spiteful, don't be vindictive, and try to place harm on an innocent person. It's just not fair, man. But the bottom line, people out there, protect yourself at all costs. Safety first. Don't matter how bad a chick look, don't matter how fat that ass is, protect yourself. That's just the bottom line. This is crazy.